Hey everyone. Today for reading, because it's just an odd day, I just wanted to make sure we got this lesson in because it's so important, but you get to do it kind of on your own time. So today we're going to study the choices an author did not make. Have you guys ever played 20 questions? We would play it if we were in person, but I would think of an animal and then you guys would have to come up with all these questions trying to guess my animal. And the strategy is you were able to figure out what my animal is, hopefully, by figuring out what it's not, right? So you could ask the question, is it a mammal? No or yes. Is it a reptile? Oh, yes. Okay. And so now we can think, what do reptiles have? Is it large? If it's not, you get the point, right? So it's not only important to realize what things are, but we can figure out more about a story when we also know the decisions and what it's not. So think about our author, Christina Applegate, who wrote Home of the Brave. Why do you think she chose for Keck to live in Minnesota, not Arizona? Why do you think she called the book Home of the Brave and not Keck Goes to America? Think about those two things for a second. Why would she call it Home of the Brave and not just Keck Goes to America? Good. I hope your brain's working. Today, your learning goal is to learn, or I'm going to teach you that it's helpful to think about the choices an authors make and ones they don't to discover new insights as readers. You're successful today if you can ask questions about choices in your books, about the choices that your author made in order to better understand the choices that he or she did make. So let's take a look at this first chapter, Snow, that we read a while ago. And I want you to think of these questions. Why did she call this chapter Snow instead of Keck Comes to America? And why a snowy cold day instead of a hot and dry day? What does that do in our mood? Okay, I'm going to just read this chapter and I want you to be thinking. You can ask more questions than that of thinking, why did she make this decision? Snow. When the flying boat returns to Earth at last, I open my eyes and gaze out the round window. What's all the white? I whisper. Where is all the world? The helping man greets me, and there are many lines and questions and pieces of paper. At last I follow him outside. We call that snow, he says. Isn't it beautiful? Do you like the cold? I want to say, no, this cold is like claws on my skin. I look around me. Dead grass pokes through the unkind blanket of white. Everywhere the snow sparkles with light, hard as high sun. I close my eyes. I try out my new English words. How can you live in this place called America? It burns your eyes. The man gives me a fat shirt and soft things like hands. Coat, he says. Gloves. He smiles. You'll get used to it, Keck. I am a tall boy. Like all my people, my arms stick out of the coat, like lonely trees. My fingers cannot make the gloves work. I shake my head. I say, this America is hard work. His laughter makes little clouds. So let's think about just the opening of the book. Why might Katherine Applegate choose a cold, snowy place? Go ahead and pause and think about this for a second. You might be thinking, it sets the mood for this strange new land. Coming from Africa, the exact opposite weather and climate is going to be a freezing cold day, right? We also know from, if you were in person, we read why she chose Minnesota. She chose Minnesota because of the actual historical context of the Lost Boys. So instead of calling it Keck Comes to America, I think snow might represent this whole new world to him. I think she's trying to show us the confusion and the scariness rather than just tell us, hey, Keck's coming to America. That's probably not as exciting either as a writer. I hope you're thinking of all these different reasons, and I wish we could have this conversation in class, but we'll definitely have it tomorrow. I want you to notice what we did when we're thinking about this. And I also want to bring up the mood of the story. When we put them in a whole new setting, the mood of the setting turns into this nervous, kind of dark, cold area. You didn't get these warm, fuzzy feelings, did you, about him showing up in America? Probably not. I think she was trying to set the tone. So by thinking of what Catherine Applegate did and thinking of alternatives. What if she had Keck show up in Arizona in a desert climate? Do you think the story would start off different? Would we have a different plot after that? Why is this important that she had him in the snow? Something to think about. So here's what you are going to do today. In-person students, if you're not meeting with me, because that's what I'll be doing right now, meeting with individual kids, you'll meet with your book clubs, and I want you to just reread the beginning of your book club novel, and I want you to question every little thing your author did. Why did my author in Lions of Little Rock do this? Why is the setting in Little Rock? Why did it start with Marley, who doesn't like to talk? What do you think the author's purpose was? What if the author made it so Marley did talk? If I'm reading The Big Field, why did it start in the middle of a baseball game? Does that show? What if Hutch was not good at baseball? What if he was Cody? What if Cody was the main character? Why did she make it Hutch? All of these questions help us think about the author's choices. Once you guys have that conversation or at home, you can think about these. In your reading response journal today, I want you to write about the choices your author made or did not make, and why do you think they made these decisions? The more examples, the better. I just want you to be a critical thinker and have that critical eye as you're rereading just chapter 1. That's it. Read chapter 1 and then have this discussion. I can't wait to see what you write. We will share this tomorrow. We'll go back to that. We will share this tomorrow. So if you want to pause the video right here so you know what your expectation is today, then you may. I will talk to you all tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.